Don't focus on mastering into makeup, focus on mastering into skin. And that was my best makeup start.
What do you think about this different definition of men in makeup?
Always go with what will go best on you. Don't go with the Instagram trends. Look like yourself. Don't try to change yourself. For me now, business is not about money, but it's about my passion.
Why is it so important for any girl to stand up on her own feet, to take care of your family, take care of your dreams, and not give up?
Don't wait for others to give you that answer that it's right or wrong. If you think it is right, just do it.
A beauty expert and an educator, she's not only helping people look their best, but also mentoring the next generation of beauty professionals. Certified by the Beauty Academy London and the London College of Fashion, she brings global expertise to her craft. Meet Bhavika Gundesha, the founder of Bhavika Gundesha Makeup Academy, who is changing the world of beauty with her vision and passion. Let's welcome her on this episode of Unfiltered Conversations. So, like every girl, we are really interested in one thing since we are growing up, like a teenager, or we've seen our mums doing the makeup, doing the skincare, and it's just growing. Like right now in India, the beauty industry has just shot up like anything, and it's more of like the globalization happening, and a lot of brands coming in, a lot of new talented artists who are bringing this new age beauty, skin, and like makeup trends in India. And today I have the opportunity and honor of interviewing one of the finest and the most trusted makeup artist who also has her academy, and she has pursued the education in beauty and the fashion from London, right? And that makes her, like very unique, and it just stands out from whatever you get in Pune or in Maharashtra, or let's say India, and she's worked internationally also. So I am really excited to know about little details of how do I take care of my skin, what can, like a bride to be, how can she look beautiful inside out, what to do with your hair, because everything creates a lasting impression, and that gives you that innate confidence in you of just waking up, showing up, and just being out there. And it happens because of these small tiny details which makeup artists and makeup experts bring to the table. So today I have the opportunity to do this conversation with Bhavika Gundesha, and I've told you about her, and she's the best in Pune right now, and not just Pune, I think you've cracked the international market also. So welcome to Unfiltered Conversation, Bhavika. What would you like to say to our audience?
Hi guys. So I'm really excited to have one-on-one conversation with her in terms of skin and hair and what's upcoming in generation for the young kids and what they really need to
Yeah.
do. So I'm really excited for this one.
And I'm really excited because it's like a personal experience for me, because sitting down with a makeup artist, and moreover, you have an academy of not just makeup but beauty, like skin, hair, nails, and I don't know what not you'll start in that. So let's delve into that. So as a child growing up, like we as girls, we are so excited about makeup, we are excited about skincare, about beauty. So what made you choose this field, and you pursued it from London, which is like extraordinary for you to do, and I think from the best schools available there. So I would love to know more about how did you kind of pave this career path?
I was very passionate for makeup. Ever since I was a kid, I used to see my mother dressing me up for Navratri, Diwali, Ganpati, because we used to have dance performance and all. I used to go crazy about
Yeah.
makeup, and I was not really good with education. I was very clear that I will get into something that is going to be very artistic. So makeup was something my first priority. So I was looking forward to start doing makeup. So as soon as I completed my 10th, I did my entire education externally. Just for 11th and 12th, I was studying, and rest I did externally because just after my 10th, I joined this makeup course with the best.
Yeah.
And I was very clear that my passion for makeup was something that I was really looking forward to make my career into it. So that's how it just started.
And when it comes to makeup, it's not just about, like you said, that it's not just about going and just experimenting or just looking at TV screens and all that. It is more of a technique. And you got that technique into your academy, you got that technique into when you started bridal makeups also. So tell me more about what is a day look like into a makeup artist's life.
Honestly, I meet a lot of people who comes with the same questions, and they really want to understand what a daily makeup is, because a lot of people are not really able to understand that it's about makeup or it's about skincare. So I always tell everybody that don't focus on mastering into makeup, focus on mastering into skin, because your daily skincare is your major journey that you need to start before you enhance into the beauty.
Correct.
So this is the first thing that I will tell them, that this is how I tell everybody that whenever any client, like a bride or any client who's coming to visit me, I like to have a healthy conversation on how you are doing your skincare on a daily life, then how you want to really do makeup.
Correct.
So when they come to me also for one-on-one course, I tell them that focus on skincare. Because that's the major thing that you really need to focus, and a lot of people lag behind in focusing for skincare. They just want to run behind doing the best makeup, but I feel like you can have limitation in makeup when your skin is in a perfect condition.
Absolutely. And do you think that, a bride needs to start prepping for her skins like way before her wedding?
100%.
And like, what are the 3 products or 3 recommendations from you apart from hydration that one must take care of?
I just feel like the bride need to start her skin routine, at least bride or a groom. It's not only about bride.
Correct.
Even men's need to start their skincare routine at least 6 months before. Because the errors that they need to get into for the entire 6 months journey, for running here and there, for their outfits, their jewelry, and the stress level they have, they might happen to break out just before the wedding. And stress, one of the reason why you break out is stress. So I say that at least 6 months before you need to start doing a CTM, cleansing, toner, moisturizing. And very important, even if you skip in a day, it's okay, but don't forget to apply your sunscreen before you step out. So you are a bride, you're not a bride, make sure you apply your sunscreen and make sure you apply your sleeping mask before you go off to sleep. These 2 things are must to do. And for brides especially, skincare routine should start at least 6 months before.
I think that's so important. And also I have heard a lot of people suggesting that along with doing your skin prep, you need to eat well, you need to
hydrate, you need to drink as much as water you can, because water plays a very important role in your hair and your skin routine.
Can you tell me more about, we spoke about skin, can you tell more about your hair also, because you have a lovely hair texture and all?
So I do, especially me, and I make sure the people who are connected to me, like my brides, my clients and all, I tell them that take care of your hair. Regular blow dries are really not good for your hair. Oiling your hair twice a week is must. Oiling your hair doesn't mean that you keep hair oil overnight. You can keep your hair oil just 2 hours before you wash your hair. Make sure your scalp is really cleaned well. Washing your hair twice a week is must. It's really must. I see a lot of people, they come to me and they don't wash their hair for one week because they have a hair fall issues. I think you might face more hair fall issues if you don't clean your scalp regularly. So this is a very important thing, and make sure that if you are touching your hair, you wash your hands before you touch your face. So this is a very important thing that you need to do, that don't try to touch your chemicals to your hair when you're doing your skin routine, and don't try to touch your oil to your face, because again you might try to break out.
That's so important.
So these things are very important for people to give 5 minutes to your skin and hair routine, but make sure you do it properly.
I think that self-care, like when people talk about self-care, it's so important, because when makeup artists even start working on your skin, the outcome, the final outcome depends on how you take care of yourself,
100%.
right? And that's how they will be able to kind of give that best result. So can you talk more about your journey into bridal makeup? Because you said that you specifically love working with brides. So how does Bhavika's day looks like when she is working on a bride? How hectic it is? How much, how much dedicated are you to all the brides? Because I know that it starts at
It's
5 a.m.
crazy.
or 4
I
a.m.
was just, it starts at 3, it ends by 11,
Yeah.
12, 1. There are times where you don't get food to eat. There are
Yeah.
times you don't even get time to drink water.
Hmm.
The journey when the wedding season is there, it's crazy. You leave your house by 4, you come home, you don't get to see your family, you don't get to see your friends. So people think that it's like a glamorous world. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not. It's a very struggling
Yeah.
phase. Even after coming so long way, it's still the same for me.
How many brides so far?
More than 100.
Wow, that's
It's been 12 years, more than 100 brides. I started when I was 16.
that's a lot.
So yeah,
Oh,
it's
you
been
started it when you were 16.
I was 16, yeah.
How was your first day like when you took the first, you did the first makeup?
I can say more than the first makeup, my first bride started when I just got a call from my mentor that she just didn't inform me anything. She just told me I have to reach. I was already doing clients.
Yeah.
And she just told me that back then I used to do makeup for free because I just wanted to build my page. That time Instagram or Facebook was not so active. Your word of mouth or your work
Correct. That's
so
true.
she just gave me a call. She said that you have to reach at this venue at this time. The minute I reached at the venue, I see the bride sitting, and it was my mentor's bride. It was not my bride. And the bride is crying and she's shouting at me, and I was like, what happened? And the minute I started calling my mentor that her phone is switched off, and the next minute I get to know that I have to do this bride, and I was fresher. It's just been say about 2 months since I learned my makeup, and I was not prepared for bride. And that was my best makeup start. It was my best makeup start.
Yeah.
Trust me, the day when I did that first bride, it was just the start of the beautiful journey. I never stopped and never looked back. And it just boomed. So it was
Yeah.
crazy. I
So-
mean, my first experience, and she was my first client.
Wow.
But I actually got my first client, and it was the bride. Though the experience, how it started, was terrible.
How did you manage solving that problem? Let's say she was a little, like irritable, or she was.
She didn't let me touch her for half an hour.
So how did you solve that? Because your experience when you are starting off is going to help a lot of artists to gain their own. So if you can just
The
delve a
minute
little
when I
deeper
entered
on-
the room, not that she knew that I'm doing the makeup, not that I was knowing that I have to do her makeup, because I was there with no information.
Correct.
The bride was shouting, and all I could do is calm her down. I was new into that, and I did not know how to handle that situation. But the first thing I did was calmed myself down. I told her, just sit and let me do the best I can do on you. The function was at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. I reached at 8:30. So already all the guests were there. She had no choice than sitting there on that chair and trusting me with the whole process. And she was very happy. And till date, it's been 12 years since I did her makeup, and till date, every time she meets me, and she's just happy about whatever happened. And even my experience was very good. All I can say is, such situations, you have to really calm yourself down. No matter in what situation you are, it's her big day. You
Correct.
can still help yourself later after the function is done, but you need to first help her. So you need to be really calm in this situation.
Yeah, that is very
There are going to be
important.
so many situations that the bride's outfit is not come on time, the jewelry is not come on time, or the outfits is torn. So many situations will come. Only you can do is always have a backup B and just calm yourself. That's the only way to
So do you
anything.
do like complete like dressing and makeup and everything when it comes to bridal? Because I've seen hair and makeup go hand in hand with one person.
I did my course from London into hair and makeup both. I really don't have interest in hair. That's not my interest,
Yeah.
because what happens is every client have a limitation of time
Correct.
period.
Yeah.
So if it's 45 minutes, it's not possible technically to blow dry, do curls,
Correct.
do the entire thing. So it's always better to have a team. I always carry my team for draping separately, for
Yeah.
hair separately. So then the client is on time.
But it's a very good idea to have a team with you when you're doing the
It's
makeup.
always better idea.
Yeah.
So anywhere you go, you will see, even if you're best at hair, team will always have makeup separately and hair separately, because they don't want to get into chaos. And especially people are really particular on their muhurats.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
you
the
don't
timing.
want to, yeah, timings are very important. So it's always better to have team together.
So tell me one thing, that which are the top requested makeups for you, which any bride has asked. Like example, abhi when I saw Alia's makeup, so that Charlotte Tilbury's lipstick Pillow Talk just went through the roof on Nykaa. Like it was out of stock for a very
Correct.
long time. So are there any makeup trends, let's say for winter, for summer, which you can just break it down for us? And what is Bhavika's style of doing bridal, which is very different than others?
I like doing makeup very subtle. For me, red lip with a wing liner.
Wow.
It's something
Yeah.
that I would go with any functions like Sangeet, cocktail. But makeup has to be very subtle. I see majority people that comes to me is they want like layers of makeup.
Correct.
I believe your top thing will only come when you are only focusing to what's the need of your face. It's the right technique and right products that you use on your face, and it's not about having layers on your face. So this is one thing I would say, that red lip with the wing liner.
I think it's
That's
the
like
most timeless
Yeah.
Coco Chanel thing
Yeah.
to do, and it's been there.
You
forever.
always see like Alia or Deepika, they always do like, they have like completely nude
Yeah.
with a brown smoky,
Yeah.
or they will have like a wing with the hot red lip. So I think that trend is like crazy.
It's timeless. I feel
Yeah,
that what
you can do it anytime. You do it in summers, you do it in winters. You can always pull off that look really well. So that look is something, it's go
Yeah.
for me.
Then I'd like to also delve into you have academy where you do hair coloring and all of these things, and there is this trend for balayage and there's this trend for highlight and everything. Would you like to talk a little bit about hair?
I believe hair color really gets your beauty out of your face. I mean, hair color really changes the whole face structure. If you actually see the difference between the colored hair and black hair is always a trend, but the color hair will get the best beauty. So, getting the right color on your face according to your face shapes or face color or face tone is very important. So don't go with the Instagram pictures, go with what will suit
Yeah.
you best.
That's
So
so
a lot of
important.
people come with the Instagram pictures that they want to do the same, or so many people will meet me and look at my hair.
Yeah.
Like today we met a client in the morning and they're like, they want to do the same hair.
Yeah.
My stylist just said the same thing, that don't go with what you're seeing. Go with what will look best on
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So always go with what will go best on you. Don't go with the Instagram trends.
I think I have seen a lot of people when you rightly talked about hair color, and I think it really complements the makeup you do also.
Of course.
I feel that it just gives a definition to your makeup and the way you glamorize yourself or the way you present yourself to the world. It just everything adds value to what you do.
100%. I tell my brides just before they get married that please color your hair, because color with makeup goes so well.
Correct,
And
yeah.
black hair with makeup really don't get the right, more than the pictures, we don't get the right features out. So I
Yeah.
think coloring with the makeup is something
I think
we
an
should do.
Asian, like for us, it's like we have darker hair color. Like it's I think dark brown or black, nothing more than that. So it just adds value.
100% it
Yeah.
adds value. I mean, it should always be both. You can't just have black hair with a
Yeah.
bright makeup. You need to have something in between.
Yeah. Also, like I would like to know more about what are Bhavika's 3 tips for doing makeup during your work, like everyday work.
Just put nude lipstick or just a tint, blush, and blush. Like, blush is the beauty of face, and nice mascara. Just lift your lashes. That's all.
What do you think about contouring the face?
I wouldn't say I'm against contouring face, but I just believe that it makes you look different from what you are. I feel like if your face is bigger, work on your eyes if that's the best features,
Yeah.
or if your lips are the best features. I don't really like doing contouring a lot because I just feel like you should look yourself. Just don't cut your face to show like you are looking smaller than what your face is actual. So no,
A big no.
a big no.
Just make a note of this.
I just
because-
believe that
yeah.
look like yourself. Don't try to change yourself because people know and they have been looking at you for so long. Just one day is not gonna make a difference. So just don't change your face.
There is this spray, what is it called? Airbrush makeup, and also can you talk more
Yeah.
about, these types of makeups like airbrush makeup, then there is this, you
HD
do
makeup.
HD makeup
Yeah.
and everything, and
There are
people
dewy
just come
makeups
up
and
with
all. So airbrush makeup is basically a silicone form of makeup.
Okay.
I love airbrush makeup because airbrush makeup is a silicone base. So silicone base, what it does is it removes the small particles out and it makes your skin look very natural. So how HD foundation, they're thicker in coverage.
Correct, yeah.
So when you put a thicker foundation, your skin starts changing. Airbrush, what it does is it makes sure that it is covering all the all the areas where it has to cover, but it also equally makes it look very natural. Plus, it's a waterproof makeup. You cry, you sweat, you go under the shower, your makeup is not going to move.
I think for you the most important request from brides must be like
Airbrush.
airbrush.
No, so a lot of people think that airbrush makeup is only for the people who have acne skin
Huh.
or dry skin. No,
Yeah.
airbrush is for all skin type.
And
It's
then,
just
like,
the right way to do the airbrush makeup. I've been specialized in airbrush from UK.
amazing.
Yeah, so a lot
I
of people
think
in India don't
yeah.
know the right way of doing airbrush. So people think that airbrush is only for the people who have acne skin, but it's for everyone.
Okay.
Airbrush gives you the most natural look on your face if you know the right way.
Yeah, because usually, like, otherwise there are some examples where brides look very cakey, and then, like you rightly pointed out, that they don't look like themselves on their
Yeah.
wedding day.
But that's what's bride's requirement also.
Yeah.
I meet so many brides, they come to me and they show me the reference that look at this makeup artist, the person has done this makeup. I tell them I can't do it. I'm okay to not take the booking. I literally say no because I am known for doing very natural makeup or working to enhance your beauty. I'm not known to put layers on your face and make you look somebody else. So I try not to take those brides and I clearly say no because for me now business is not about money, but it's about my passion, and I wouldn't want to do something that's not going to satisfy me. Like for me, my self satisfaction is also equally important, and I believe that doing layers of makeup is not going to make you look different, but just like doing the correct way is important. So
Is there any heartwarming experience of a bride where you just like felt that this was apart from your first day, was the best day of your life, and like it just changed the way she looked at it? Because right now we are also seeing a trend where people have a lot of self-doubt, they have a lot of fear, they have a lot of self-confidence issues. So when experts like you come in and when you make them look beautiful, when you make them look like themselves, and they learn to adapt, and they are like, oh, this is me, this I am so beautiful. So that's a very beautiful thing which you do for others. Is there any memory you would like to share with us?
I remember back 4 years back, I did a bride in Coimbatore, and that bride was really not confident about me. She never met me before the wedding day. Till the wedding date, she was not confirmed. Like, she was not sure if I'm the right one or no. And I just told her, forget about everything and just sit and let me do the process. I remember after her first makeup was finished, the way she cried and her parents cried after looking at her. She was just looking beautiful and the way she wanted, and that just made my day. That sometimes you just need to wait for the process and let the bride be herself till she's not confident on you.
Yeah.
Not every bride who's going to come to you is going to be confident till her wedding day that you're going to do the best. Some brides are going to take a lot of time to get that confidence even if they do the booking. So that day was something I still remember, that her dad was crying and he was so happy looking at her. So yeah, I mean, that was one of the day that
because
I remember.
makeup artists, like, it's very underrated or not spoken about, but you're the magicians who make that moment, which is like a lifetime moment, so special for them. because it's a memory they carry for the entire life.
I
with
feel
them,
like the
right?
way we make the impact in their life, we play a really important role in their life,
Yeah.
and that's something very special for us.
Hmm.
More than anything, people think that this industry is about makeup, but for us,
Hmm.
it's not about makeup. It's about, you know, meeting people and being so important to their life, especially for their wedding day, and getting to what they are really requiring. I feel that's the whole process it
Yeah.
takes. It's way different than what people really
Yeah.
think. And when you go deep, you will realize that there's so much teamwork that happens. You need to give days in terms of planning, to be with them with the
So
whole
take
process
me
of.
through that. Like, what does it take in terms of going through days of planning? Like, if somebody is watching this for the first time, or if anybody's planning for even like their wedding, or if a makeup artist who is just freshly starting, for them, can you just kind of break it down for us today?
So you need to firstly make sure that you understand bride's requirement completely. For you, it's not about just taking the booking and meet directly bride on the wedding day. The whole process is when the bride making sure right from her skincare, hair care routine, are you taking a follow up every 15 days if she's doing it
Oh,
or no?
okay.
If her outfits are picked really well, because you can't just pick the outfit if you like and you pick it, it should suit you also. So right from the outfit selection to the jewelry selection to family's entire matching selection to making sure the jewelry is suiting well, or to make sure your hair accessories are matching the outfit. So there is a lot of process that happens in between the booking. So we have to make sure when the bride is getting ready, her accessories, her hair accessories, her extensions are matching to her hair color, if at all needed, or her makeup is done according to the outfit.
Yeah.
You can't have a blue eye with a green outfit. You need to make sure that the whole planning is done
Yeah,
really
yeah.
well. So there is the whole process that happens and the whole teamwork that happens, and we meet 4-5 times to make sure that we don't have stress. So a lot of makeup artists that I meet, they're so stressed before the wedding season start, because I feel like well planning is very important.
I think this is something which
Well
nobody.
planning is really
Yeah,
important. You
nobody
can't
talks
just
about.
meet the bride and then be like, okay, it will happen. It will not happen. You need
Yeah.
to be with the bride with the whole process, because you really need to understand her requirements. You need to understand that what outfit she's chosen, if it is going to really match to what you are getting along with you.
Correct.
So it's really important, the whole planning, and always have a B planning too.
Yeah.
If anything goes wrong, you should have an option B. You can't just on the spot decide, oh no, what to do. No, you need to
You
be
have to
well
be
prepared
prepared.
with everything.
No, this was a very important insight for anybody planning their wedding or planning to become a makeup artist and having that team around you. Because, like she said, I like this point where you said you can't have blue eyes with, like a
Green, yeah, you need to be well planned before, otherwise it's gonna be, I see,
in
I
fact
have
with
so many
makeup
brides who
also.
comes to me, they are
Yeah.
getting married recently. They don't have the outfit ready, but they are like, they want green eyes, they want pink eyes. I need to explain them first, get your outfits to
Yeah.
plan. I can't just make you look green
Yeah.
without knowing what your outfit is. And then what if I say yes and I don't do it on your wedding day? You will be like, oh shit, I told you
Yeah.
to do green, but it should match your outfit. So it's the whole
Yeah.
process you
I
need
think
to be.
even the, let's say eyeshadows or lipstick shade and
It's very
everything
important.
has to match your outfit. Like,
Yeah, so what I really believe is, if your outfit is loud, go light on your face.
correct.
If your face is loud, go light on your outfit. Because if you're wearing a red outfit and you want a golden eyes and you want a red lip, I feel like you need to go down somewhere. You can't have everything loud. If one is going, you can still have a loud lip if your eyes are softer, but you can't have loud lip, loud eyes, and loud outfit. So you need to mellow down things.
Usually, what I've, like the myths or, the perceptions which anybody has before their wedding or even getting into the makeup is like, आप पूरा makeup भर दो, मतलब like मैं सबसे अलग लगनी चाहिए.
मुझे आज ही एक जन का कॉल आया, एंड माय टीम मेंबर वाज डूइंग मेकअप, and I was just sitting there. So I have this one bad habit that I just can't sit. If I see anybody doing makeup, I want to make sure I get up and I show that, oh, I'm best at this.
Yeah.
So this is a very bad habit that usually a lot of makeup artists must be having, that, you just can't sit and look at somebody doing wrong makeup.
Huh.
So this has happened with me that, I get a lot of clients coming saying that they are a siders. So they can be groom's mother, groom's sister, or maybe दूर के. And जब वो आते हैं, they don't want to pay first of all, and they want to look like a bride. They'll open my page and they'll show me all the bride's references that they want to look like this. I can't make you look like a bride. Even if you're not paying me, it doesn't matter. I want the bride to look the best.
Yeah.
There needs to be something
Yeah.
where you need to look like a bride, you need to look like a sider. Doesn't mean that you will look bad. It's just that you can't look the best.
Yeah.
So we face this lot of challenges where clients comes with the bridal whole look, and they want to look like a bride, but I make sure I don't really go forward.
That's not possible.
Because you can't just make bride look very down on her wedding day, because I'm sure every bride, no matter if the wedding is small, big, grand, the bride wants to look the best.
Absolutely.
That's what we usually think of.
Yeah.
The bride or groom wants to look the best. They don't want to copy outfit, look same on the wedding day. So yeah,
And
it's
that's
not possible.
It's their day. I mean, like, everybody is there to support them.
Yeah,
to
but I feel
cheer
like
for
girls
them.
always like too much, and I will always say that go as much as subtle you can.
Because I get you, because after 20 years, when that trend is off the charts, you'll look at your pictures and you'll be like, oh shit, what did I do to my face?
know. So you will see in such things when you
Yeah.
are doing lipstick also. Like now I see you have put such a nice peach shade. If I put such lipstick on my brides, they will love it. But when I show the pictures, if a client is coming for consultation and all, oh, हमें ये इतनी nude lipstick नहीं चाहिए, हमें चाहिए lipstick दिखे. But then you need to understand that when you put very subtle lipstick, that's when your face will enhance better.
Correct.
It's very difficult to understand each and every client.
Yeah.
But we really try to get there.
So I'm going to get into, the interesting part where we talk about products and we talk about, these hacks, because I have an expert sitting next to me and I would love to know which product should I buy from the website and what are the best. So let's start with the foundations. Like, what do you think is the best? And I've heard that now the trend has changed. I've seen Huda coming with tints, then the Charlotte Tilbury has also introduced a lot of tints, and I think Rode Beauty has also started something like that. But I'd like to know more from you that what should we go for in terms of foundations and what is really required?
I'm a big fan on Maybelline.
Really?
Maybelline is my favorite
Oh, really?
foundation. Yeah. I used
Fit Me
Maybelline
wala?
foundation for my wedding.
Huh.
That's all.
That Fit Me.
That's all. Yeah. Fit Me foundation. I love the texture of foundation. It's so dewy. It's so blending. I love Maybelline. So a lot of people come and they feel like luxury makeup is everything.
That's why, because we feel that, if you're spending more on
It's not about the amount of money you spend, but getting the right product.
Okay.
Maybelline, it's not about just Maybelline. There are so many Indian brands that's come up. Like Maybelline is there, then Kiko is there. Kiko is not
Kiko's,
Indian. K Beauty is there.
Yeah.
So many Indian brands. Recode is there. These brands are doing so good with their texture of foundation and all. So I would suggest you try Indian market.
Okay,
Try
that's amazing.
foundations. That it doesn't mean that spending 4,000 in foundation is going to give you the right coverage. Try drugstores. I'm sure they are also coming up with such a better foundation quality. So your foundation, all I can give you a good suggestion is your foundation has to be dewy. It should look very natural. So brands, if you ask me, I would say Maybelline is superb. K Beauty is really good. Recode foundations are amazing. They have a silky texture foundations. And if you want to go into the luxury segment, I would suggest you Dior Backstage, because they are such a dewy, liquidy foundation. One drop and your skin looks really flawless.
Is it the one that droplet wala thing which is come?
Which is like a bottle.
Yeah. I've
So
heard about
Dior
that.
Backstage are my favorite foundation. Then this brand called Halls Lab
Yeah.
by Lady Gaga.
Correct.
Their foundations are beautiful foundation. the minute you apply that foundation, you feel that your skin is like feeling very dewy, shining, and it gives a nice glow on your face. Even I love that foundations.
That's amazing. Now let's go to concealers.
I love Maybelline. I'm a big fan of Maybelline.
Is it the cushiony
but
one you're
then
talking about?
I have found these foundations which are foundation come concealers from Tiltir. It's a Korean brand.
Yeah. Heard about
I
that.
love their foundation. It's beautifully
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. So they are in red. They have 3 types of foundation. One which has an SPF. I really don't suggest you to use an foundation with SPF and foundation mixed, because after a point your skin will start oxidizing. So
Oh,
I will
okay.
always suggest you
Yeah.
put SPF separately and
Yeah.
use your foundation separately. If you want to really make investments, then for makeup artists, upcoming makeup artists, you can really invest in Tiltir foundations. Only if you are trying to make some YouTube videos and self videos and all, not for the brides. For yourself, it's really good. It stays for 72 hours.
That's a lot.
And it will not oxidize at all. So amazing foundation.
I didn't know that, the tints with SPF oxidize, because
Yeah, it does
a lot
oxidize.
of brands are putting, like SPF 30 and all that.
That's the
into it.
reason they're called tinted foundations.
Yeah.
They are not called coverage foundation. They are called
foundation.
tinted
Tinted
foundations.
foundations.
So there is a difference between tinted foundation and coverage foundation. The reason why I say no, because when you say tinted foundation, you are not going to color correct your skin. When you say foundation, you will color correct. So what is color correction is basically there are concealers which are in darker or a peach or an orange tones.
Correct.
So your mouth area, your under eye area always darker than your skin tone. So you need to make sure that you even out that before you apply your foundation, because if you don't do that, you will see a lot of people looking gray on that side of area. You will see the dark circles are looking gray. You will see lip area is looking gray. So it's very important that you color correct, and color correction is possible when you do it before foundation, because that's when it will give you coverage. And when you use tinted means natural.
Yeah.
So you can't have like a color corrector, then a natural tint, and then the concealer, because anyway it's not going to look natural. It's going to look like a layer on your face.
Correct.
So you better don't invest in tinted and invest in a color corrector and a right foundation. So if you color correct and use the right foundation, you might not need concealer. And if at all you need concealers, there are drugstore brands called ProArte, Recode, K-Beauty. These brands are really good. And if you want, I really love this brand called Krylon.
I've heard about that.
A lot of people don't know this. They think that it's a very cheap brand. But when you go to country like UK, Europe,
They are using
US,
it
the whole building, they have like a 5-floor building with the whole Krylon products, and they're amazing. The coverage they give. You see, now there are brands coming up with foundation, concealers and all. Back then when I started my journey, Krylon was like a #1 palette. It was like,
it used to come in a palette.
I don't remember any brands like Dior or Charlotte
No,
Tilbury or
it wasn't
anything.
there.
It's now past 5-8 years.
Yeah.
But back then, Krylon was like a #1. Oh, you are using Krylon.
Yeah.
So for them, it was
So
number
there
one.
used to be like a brush and that, whole
The palette with
and
the
then
whole
used to use
12
it.
concealers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think every day there's new in market.
Yeah.
But stick to what you are really comfortable and what you are best at creating.
You've busted a lot of myths about the drugstore options and alternatives which are available. And I think I also have this one question, that whenever you're color correcting your under eyes or you're color correcting, you usually use this orange, this green tint and all of that. So is it really important, or it's like
It's very important to color correct. So why we have 3 types of different color correctors. You can use a darker color corrector if your under eye is not so much visible. You can use peach when you are on a fairer tone, cool tone, like tone like you. You are on a cool tone. If I tell you to use orange,
Yeah.
you're gonna look crazy because the entire orange color corrector is
Yeah,
gonna be visible. So you need a peach color corrector.
Oh, okay.
So somebody like me who is in a medium tone to a darker tone, I will use an orange color corrector because my tone is anyway darker. So I wouldn't suggest you to use orange color corrector to the people who are on a cool tone, because cool tones are on a fairer tone. So you can't use a darker color correctors.
Correct.
So when you color correct, that's when your skin will look even. If you don't color correct your skin, you're going to look different on your cheeks, you're going to look different on your forehead, and you're going to look different
Because
on your
that's
under eye.
that's risky business.
But that's what people do. A lot of people don't understand. And when you go to malls, you go to stores, they are never going to tell you that
Yeah,
buy this.
exactly.
Because they want you to go to them always
They are
to buy
selling the
new
product.
products.
Yeah.
So always remember, color correctors are very important, very very important before you use your foundation.
Yeah.
If you think that color correctors are not working well for you, get the right shade concealer. But then concealer is not going to do the 100% covering part for your dark
Correct.
spots.
Yeah.
So color correctors are really important.
That's so important. And you know, in terms of your eye makeup, let's say if you're doing kajal, if you're doing smoky eye or eyeliner, so what do you think one must opt for like somebody who's new to this?
I would suggest that switch from black to brown. Black is overrated.
Yeah.
So black liner, black kajals are really overrated. If you think your eyes are really small, just apply a white kajal that will lift your eyes.
Yeah. The underneath, no?
Yeah, just apply a outer liner. You don't need to start from inner to outer line to put the liner. You can just create a nice wing, a soft wing with the brown liners or kajals. And don't really apply so much black, because I feel like that those days are gone.
Gone.
Now
Okay.
it's like minimal with lesser.
Yeah.
Brown lifts your face
Yeah,
better than
yeah,
black.
Yeah. And there's this, I don't know, I use this Maybelline's brown, which has that smudgy pencil which
Kajal.
has come. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a brown shade which has come in Maybelline, so that I have. And
You can
K-Beauty,
use that kajal for your smoky eyes also.
Yeah, yeah.
You can just
sponge it
apply
up.
little and start blending.
Yeah.
It gives a really nice lift and it looks very
Exactly.
natural and fresh on your face.
I think K-Beauty's done a great job with getting
I
in
love
products
K-Beauty's
like
color kajals. Their
Yeah.
lipsticks are fabulous. Their blushes
their
are
eyebrow
so good.
pencils are very good.
Not
I've
tried
tried.
them, the eyebrow pencils, but I like Maybelline.
Yeah.
Maybelline
You
eyebrow
know,
pencil.
you know where to opt for.
Maybelline has been my number one brand since
Yeah.
I started, and also been loving Krylon. I've been doing a lot of research on the Krylon. People think that Krylon is only about that 12 shade palettes. Krylon's
much
glitters
more.
are amazing, their blushes are amazing, they have so many products. And back then, Krylon, for fashion industry, for backstage, Krylon was the only brand.
And I think even
In
now,
India,
right
in
now,
abroad, today also when you go to UK, Krylon is the only brand that people use when you're doing backstage shoots.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like do better research on products. It's very important. Just don't go like this influencer is posted like Dior,
Exactly.
go with Dior. This influencer is
Yeah.
posted like today, this is the hype beauty. Don't go with what they're showing.
Yeah.
Really do your proper research before you invest.
And I think with such podcasts, it really helps because we really don't know like what exactly is the reality, and
Of
you're
course.
breaking it down so nicely and in which with utmost reality and honesty that it really helps anybody who's looking out for that. Honestly, I didn't know that Maybelline had such amazing
It's so fabulous.
things, and then I'm going to go and just try that out for myself.
I feel like it's not the product that's going to change your face, it's
But,
the right
yeah.
technique.
Correct.
You are an artist. You need to do what you're best at, and even a basic product should do the best job if you know the right way.
That's important.
So it's not about having the top 10,
Yeah.
but using two and get the best.
Yeah.
So
So I think along with the makeup products, the how do we coin it? The brushes, or you know what is it called? Like all the
all your makeup brushes.
makeup brushes, then sponge and all that. So when you're applying a foundation, like if you're applying it with a sponge, your fingertips, or with a brush, like that also really changes the way makeup.
I
is done,
like
or-
using my fingers when I'm doing my self makeup. But when it's about bride, of course, hygiene is really important.
Yeah.
So I make sure that my all the brushes are well cleaned, and I don't if the bride's functions are 3 functions, say about haldi, mehndi, sangeet, I'm not going to use the same brushes on that bride. I'm going to keep switching my brushes. So I always make sure that I have 100, 150 brushes, which I will need it for 3 different functions. So your hygiene maintaining, using your right brushes and making sure you're cleaning them.
So
A
important.
lot of people don't clean their sponges. Majority people I meet for one-on-one class, they don't clean their sponges, dude. They come with their dirty sponge and they are like, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं था ये धोना रहता है. And I see that so many germs are there on that. I can see that
Fungus.
discoloration on the
Yeah.
sponges. And they have been using the same sponges and then they cry with, I have acne. I have some skin reaction.
Yeah.
You know, next day they come that आपने मुझे makeup तो सिखाया था लेकिन next day तो मुझे rashes आए.
Yeah.
आपको इसीलिए रैशेस आए क्योंकि आपके स्पॉन्जेस और ब्रशेस क्लीन ही नहीं थे.
Yeah.
You can't use, every brush when you use, you will see after the use they are so dirty, they are so unhygienic to reuse it on your skin, because your skin is so sensitive, your skin is so thin that you need to be really careful before using any kind of things. You make sure you wash your hands before
Yeah.
applying anything on
Yeah,
your face,
yeah.
or before you touch your face also. You make sure your hands are clean, your brushes are clean, your sponges are clean. I see so many makeup artists that I wouldn't want to name, and I see their vanity. They go to fancy places to do their brides, but when you see their vanity video, the brushes are untidy, their sponges are so untidy, and they do the brides with the same products. I mean, I feel like
I think
it's
even
really
the products, let's say eyeshadow, I think you sanitize that also. There's a way of doing that.
everything.
Yeah.
Every client that you do, no matter if you have 3 clients a day, every time you do a client, you make sure everything is clean before it goes back to the vanity. Your brushes are cleaned well, your sponges are cleaned well. You have to make sure that you don't directly put the lipstick also on the client. You make sure you
Exactly.
remove it, you put
The
it on your
brush,
hand,
yeah.
you use your different brush and then put it on the lips, because it's so unhygienic. Some client might face some skin challenges, and it's going to be all over. I mean, it's so
Yeah.
difficult to fix that because it's you at fault. So I feel like even you in this matter, like if you're using the same vanity for yourself and same vanity for your client, and you use the same lipstick on client directly and you use it on yourself, you're not going to feel good.
Yeah, yeah.
So you imagine that the client is not even aware that it's used on somebody else or no. So it's always better to you have a mixing palette, take everything on your mixing palette and then use it on the client. So it's very important to maintain hygiene.
This particular
I think
experience.
80% of makeup artists don't really follow this hygiene. You will see, I'm not
That's a
saying in
revelation.
Pune, you go anywhere, you will see that vanity is so untidy, the brushes are so untidy, and they will say that they didn't get a chance to clean.
Yeah.
I feel like there is no excuse if you are into this industry. It's you who chose this, so you need to deal with it.
It took me back to the COVID days and the COVID weddings.
Oh God,
How
I
was it?
remember I did this one bride in COVID, which was at this.
I mean, that must be the most scariest experience for you.
The way she's looking at me, if I've covered, if I've used gloves, mask, she's checking each and every product, and I told her, I will take care of everything really well, because I myself am really scared. It's not you. Imagine I might catch that COVID from you also. You met so many people.
Yeah.
But then that was the craziest time. I feel like that COVID time, hopefully a lot of artists must have learned that it's just not the COVID period, but
It's the-
other part
yeah,
also, that you
exactly.
need to really stay hygiene with your clients and make sure that you keep everything clean. When you're giving one-on-one class, you're giving all the knowledge, but if you are not following it, no point.
No, I think Bhavika, the way your honesty is in terms of the makeup, the way you are perceiving all the bridal makeup or how you are dealing with clients, that shows a lot about your talent. That shows a lot about how passionate and how dedicated you are for not just yourself or for your personal growth, but for bettering the lives of the others also.
100%.
So that really matters. It brought me to another question which I was not intended to ask, but I just got this thought that you are from this industry. You have been, like enormously investing your time, energy in this. What is your take on men getting into makeup? And I've seen a lot of influencers or makeup artists now openly coming and doing their own makeup, doing these experimentations. So I'd like to know, I want a fresh take from your end of what do you think about this different definition of men in makeup?
I feel like men should also do makeup. Why only women should look good? Even men should look good. Even men have discoloration on skin. They have acne. They have skin tone redness. So I feel like even men should do makeup. Makeup doesn't mean only having too much on face, but covering the discoloration or covering the redness and covering the dark circles. But I feel it's a good idea. The men should really do makeup. I mean, I doll up so many grooms also.
Yeah.
It's not only brides. The question should be for grooms also.
Tell me about the
Because
grooms.
all the grooms
Yeah.
get ready for their
Yeah.
wedding day. So even imagine the bride is so well dressed.
Yeah.
And in pictures, if the groom is not doing the makeup, the groom is gonna look all different than the bride. Because the bride has so much on her face, hair, outfit, everything.
yeah.
So even the men should look the best for their wedding day. They do. All the men do makeup. But I feel on a daily life also men should do makeup. Why not?
Why not? I mean, like, you can take care of your skin. You can
Yeah,
just go out and
it's not
put
like
that.
they can skip blush, but they can always apply like a compact or foundation, very natural tint,
Yeah.
which makes their skin look very even.
So I see these reels of Ankush Bahuguna. He has this wing it with Ankush, and he does his own makeup. He does his own
I love
like,
his work.
contouring and it's so natural, and he's so right out there that this is how I'm doing it. It looks very masculine. Like, it doesn't look like, a lot of people have this myth that, oh, I'm going to look feminine or I'm going to look something else. But it looks amazing the way he pulls it off and how he's breaking
He
the
is
norms.
so good
man.
with his
Yeah.
work. The way he's coming with the trends and making sure giving the right tips.
Yeah.
I mean, I love his work. I have this
Yeah.
staff called Joe in my salon.
Yeah.
He just recently joined 3 months back. He makes sure the minute he enters the salon, he wants to put his blush on.
Wow.
He wants to put his foundation because he's like, ma'am, if the client is talking to me, I want to make sure if client is looking at me, I want to look the best.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
minute he leaves salon, like when the salon time is over, when he leaves, he's like, ma'am, I want to look best when I'm reaching from salon to home also. Because I don't want people to look at me and feel like, oh. He makes sure he applies, he freshen up himself, he apply blush, foundation, and then leave the salon. So I feel like it's important, even men should look their best. It's always about featuring the right things
Yeah.
on their face. So it's
I've
always
seen
good.
I've seen Kajal also look amazing on men, like how he has done it. Ankush had just put up one of the posts where he's just
Did
like
the half
way you've done
makeup.
that soft brown thing which you
Correct,
spoke
correct.
about. That looks amazing. Like, it's just breaking the stereotypes for men.
100%. I mean, I wouldn't suggest for the grooms to put the kajal and all. So, because the amount they sweat after they dance and all, everything is
Yeah.
just gonna come here.
Yeah.
So, don't try this trend while you're getting married,
Yeah.
but you can always give it a shot.
That's amazing. So I would like to ask you a little personal questions before we summarize the podcast. How proud your parents are about this whole journey, because this is a very unconventional area of work, and you have been setting some right examples for the budding makeup artists and for brides for trusting you for so long. So how has that personal journey been for you?
I honestly lost my parents.
Oh,
So
I'm so
I
sorry.
lost my dad when I was 10 and I lost my mother when I just came back from London. So my journey has been not that happening how it looks now, all glamorous and all. So when I lost my dad, the situations were not so good. The reason when I started at 16 because I really wanted to do something. Every time I used to see my mother struggling, it kept me going in my head that I really want to become something and I want to make her feel proud. So after I chose this journey, everything, like I said, the first bride started and it just started with the good journey. I went to London. She was so proud of me. My brother was the one who pushed me. And I was the first one. I'm the youngest in family. And my brother, I saw everybody struggling. And that period of time, I was the first one in my family going abroad, studying and all. So my mother was so happy. I went with the focus that I really wanted to do something there. So I wanted to study there for 3 years and do something in the beauty industry. One day I just got a call from my mother that she wants me back. And after coming back, I saw that her health was down and she gifted me the studio. My first studio is being gifted by my mother and my brother because they wanted me to stay back in India and do whatever I wanted to here and not go back. And I'm sure she must be really proud wherever she is today.
I think that's the most beautiful,
I feel
priceless
like if she
thing.
wouldn't have gifted me the studio, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have been where I am today. Because now I opened a bigger studio, I opened a bigger academy. I think her blessings are, I'm sure she's really proud. My
think,
parents are really
yeah.
proud of wherever I am today.
Their blessings and their constant presence in your
I'm
life
sure.
is pushing you to do this, and that just like makes me feel so amazing to know you even more, because you've been that one kid, tough kid, who's
Yeah.
been just pursuing?
I've been a very stubborn kid. I was very clear to what I wanted to do. And I wanted to make sure that I never wanted to take financial help from my family. I was so clear. So as soon as I finished my 10th, I used to do a receptionist job in a Healing Hands clinic. It's a very known clinic for
Yes, I've heard about it.
constipation patients and all. I used to do a job there. So I used to go in the evening and till late night. I used to work there after my college to make sure that I start saving some money after. And I was a very great choreographer. So I did choreography for 5 years. And with all that saving, I used to learn side by side makeup and I started my journey. So
Why is it so important for any girl to stand up on her own feet, to take care of your family, take care of, you know, your dreams and not give up? You know, you have dealt with so much in your life at such an early age. Why do you think that, you know, that's so important for a girl or a woman?
I remember the time when I was a kid. We were so rich, and overnight we became poor. So that journey that I had and gone through, I feel like nothing is permanent. You never know the situation that will come in your life. No matter you're getting into makeup industry, your fashion field, your designing. But I think it's really important for a woman to stand on her feet. You never know where the situation takes you in life. You never know what happens in future. If you are doing what you are today, I think you'll be capable to handle all the situations in life, and it's really important. I feel like being independent makes you feel so proud about yourself, and it makes you do what you do. And it's really important to do something in your life that you yourself are proud of. So it's really important to do something.
Thank you for being a part of
Thank you
Unfiltered
so
Conversations.
much.
What do you think about this whole experience you've had?
It's my first time. I was so scared before coming here, but I feel like it made it more easier because it was conversation.
Yeah.
And something I was really looking forward to. I really enjoyed being here.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so
It means
much.
a lot to all of us.
Thanks to everyone and the entire team.
Yeah. Thank you so much.